before you condemn yourself as undisciplined, before you whisper accusations of laziness into your own ear, before you surrender to the weight of self-blame, pause and truly listen. If you find yourself perpetually forcing your way through work, this isn't merely a lapse in motivation. It's not a deficit in willpower, nor a void of ambition. It's something far deeper, quieter, and more profound. Because authentic productivity never demands self-inflicted harm. Yet day after day, this compulsion to force yourself becomes a silent act of inner violence, a betrayal of the self that Carl Jung would recognize as the suppression of the unconscious. In our culture, especially here in the USA, where hustle is glorified, we seldom question this cycle. We accept suffering as the price of success. We mistake resistance for personal failure. But the psyche resists for a reason, rooted in protection. By the end of this exploration, you'll uncover how this forcing disconnects you from your unconscious depths, how it echoes unresolved trauma, draining your vital energy even amid accomplishments, and how the resistance you battle is, in truth, your shadow self, your unlived truths seeking to guide you toward healing. 1. The unconscious roots of inner conflict. When you utter the words, "I must force myself to work," what emerges is a confession of division. One fragment of your being yearns to advance, to achieve. Another, hidden in the shadows, recoils, holding back with quiet insistence. This is not indolence. This is the clash between conscious intent and unconscious wisdom. Drawing from Carl Jung's depth psychology, this divide arises between the ego, the conscious planner, the calculator, the driver, and the unconscious, the guardian of buried traumas, instincts, and forgotten truths. The conscious mind pushes toward goals, deadlines, societal expectations. The unconscious scans for safety, for meaning, for threats born from past wounds. When harmony exists between them, work flows like a gentle river, effortless, aligned. When discord reigns, it feels like dragging stones uphill. Forcing yourself doesn't mend this rift. It mutes the unconscious voice. But the unconscious doesn't fade. It whispers through resistance, echoing traumas that demand acknowledgement for true mental health and healing. 2. How trauma fuels the cycle of force. Discipline can momentarily eclipse this resistance, but its victory is fleeting, illusory. In the beginning, the push yields results. You endure, you produce, you persist. Yet your nervous system, shaped by past traumas, remembers every override. Each dismissal of exhaustion, each suppression of simmering resentment, each moment of working while your soul feels adrift, teaches your body a perilous lesson. Work is synonymous with danger, with reliving old pains. Gradually, this imprints a chronic stress response, rooted in trauma's neurobiology, where the amygdala, ever vigilant, signals threat before you even begin. You awaken to preemptive fatigue. A heaviness settles as you approach your tasks. Completion brings not joy, but mere relief, the cessation of pressure. Relief is no substitute for wholeness. A life sustained by endurance rather than integration breeds emptiness, even in the face of outward success. This is the hidden toll of unhealed trauma. It transforms productivity into a battlefield, eroding mental health from within. 3. Embracing the shadow in productivity culture. Productivity culture in the USA and beyond banishes certain emotions to the periphery. Exhaustion from overgiving, anger at unbalanced demands, doubt born of disconnection, grief over lost authenticity, the erosion of personal meaning. Where do these exiled feelings go? They descend into the shadow, as Jung described, the repository of our disowned selves, our unlived potentials, and our traumas unspoken. The shadow isn't malevolence. It's the unconscious truth we've learned to hide for survival. When you force yourself onward, pause and inquire gently, what emotion am I forbidding myself to feel in this moment? Is it the weariness of unprocessed trauma? Resentment toward obligations that echo childhood burdens? Fear of failure mirroring past rejections? Or fear of success, which might demand even more self-abandonment? These don't manifest as clear thoughts. They emerge as procrastination's quiet rebellion, as distraction's elusive pull, as sudden waves of fatigue or mental haze, as a numb detachment from your own life. This isn't self-sabotage. It's the shadow communicating, urging you toward shadow work, the conscious integration of these hidden parts for profound healing and mental well-being. 4. Reframing procrastination as a trauma response. We often vilify procrastination as a flaw to be eradicated. We wage war against it. We layer on shame. We seek its annihilation. But procrastination isn't arbitrary chaos. It's discerning, selective, targeting what stirs the depths. Tasks laced with fear of judgment. Tasks tied to fragile identity. Tasks heavy with external pressure. In trauma-informed psychology, procrastination reveals itself as the final echo of a neglected inner world, a protective mechanism from the unconscious, shielding you from reopening wounds. Ignore it and it amplifies. Combat it and it entrenches. Understand it and it transforms. Because resistance doesn't crave destruction. It yearns for dialogue, for shadow work that bridges conscious and unconscious, fostering healing rather than further division. 5. The neuroscience of trauma and burnout. Burnout isn't born from sheer volume of work. It arises from laboring in opposition to your true self, from the chronic misalignment that trauma perpetuates. Neuroscience illuminates this. Sustained motivation demands neural coherence, a symphony between emotion, meaning, and action, disrupted by unresolved trauma. When fractured, dopamine wanes, focus fragments, effort morphs into agony, forcing persists until the brain, in self-preservation, withdraws cooperation, a protective shutdown echoing trauma's freeze response. This isn't defeat, it's the unconscious safeguarding your mental health, inviting you to heal through integration rather than override. 6. Why conventional motivation falls short. Standard advice urges push relentlessly, dismiss your emotions, cling to discipline, proceed regardless. Yet this presumes a fallacy, that the self is monolithic, a single directive voice. You are a multifaceted system, conscious and unconscious, intertwined, shaped by traumas both personal and collective. When one aspect, the ego's drive, dominates, the system fractures. Your identity shifts to, I am worthy only through self-suppression. In time, motivation doesn't evaporate, meaning does, leaving a hollow shell, ripe for mental health crises. True healing demands shadow work, Honoring the unconscious, mending trauma's divides. 7. The essence of aligned, trauma-informed productivity. Genuine productivity isn't perpetual ecstasy, but neither is it self-violence. It feels anchored, centered, collaborative within. Effort exists, yet without the sting of betrayal. This emerges only when resistance is met with curiosity, not conquest. Inquire, which aspect of my shadow resists this? What trauma-echoed emotion seeks validation? What unconscious truth do I evade? These reflections don't diminish you. They rebuild coherence, fusing conscious and unconscious for lasting mental health and healing. 8. Integrate. Do not force. If forcing yourself to work has become your norm, know this: you are not defective. You are fragmented by traumas unaddressed, shadows unintegrated. The path forward isn't amplified discipline. It's wholeness, listening over silencing, comprehending over assaulting, reverence over domination. Your resisting shadow isn't plotting your downfall. It's preserving your essence. If these words resonate deeply, it's your unconscious affirming its presence. For more explorations like this, not empty motivation, not toxic hustle, but Jungian insights, trauma healing, shadow work, and mental health truths, subscribe, not to grind harder, but to harmonize with your depths.